So recently, a woman told me that she passed on an opportunity for promotion and success because she did not feel self confident. Do you know of someone who's missing on life because of low self esteem? If so, you are in the right place. Today, we are going to learn some strategies to improve your self esteem, learn about some strategies that help Dr. Cotton get through the stressors of life with confidence and still going at age 88, and a special at the end, a powerful and practical tool that has helped me boost my self esteem, and hopefully, it would also help you. So, I'm sure you're going to learn some great tips. Hello, friends. Joining us today is Dr. Cotton. Hi, Dr. Cotton. Thank you for joining
Hello.
us. So, Dr. M. Jean Cotton has been many things in addition to being a psychologist. She has been a singer, a teacher, a minister, and now a personal growth expert. And she creatively blends this old fashioned common sense with self empowerment. She's also the founder of Transcend University, and she's passionate about helping individuals come to know their self worth from inside out. Our seminars and workshops and ministry have yielded definite and measurable results to audiences globally. And if this is the first time you guys are joining us, my name is Dr. Rosina, and I have been helping people with stress, anxiety, and depression for more than 20 years. As a psychiatrist, that's a medical doctor specializing in mental health, a university professor, and best-selling author. And you are watching and listening to Happy and Healthy Mind with Dr. Rosina, a weekly program where we share practical tips for mental fitness. And so today we are talking about strategies to improve your self esteem and journey into you. See, many people struggle with the lack of self knowledge and appreciation, and they live life in shadows and don't achieve what they are able to. So, getting attuned to yourself and inner dynamics that comprise you holistically can lead to a greater sense of self and quality of life. So, Dr. Cotton, can you share an example from your years of experience where self esteem played an important role in somebody's life?
Yes. Okay, I want to tell you about this special person that I met many, many years ago. I just a person who, how sometimes we just find ourselves just being a person with none of the joys of life. And this person, I think sometimes we're born into that environment and we have to overcome these things. So the whole thing is about making it. That was the whole scheme. So how do we bring that into enjoying life and living? And that was what this person was. Very poor in self-esteem, just want to get by. And today, this person is gotten very many rewards. They're naming her school after her, and
Wow,
she's worked in the system. She literally built the school, and so
wonderful.
she's doing well now and has her own programs of her own. Very excited about life and living because she lived through the process of making it so. When
Wonderful.
she had to find out for herself that she had much more to offer
Hmm.
than was being offered. And that's our thing in life. We don't really know that we're supposed to do. We just accept what is and try to make it through.
Hmm.
But one of the things, the main way we got to that was to help her to feel that there was something lacking in her life. There
So, how
had to
was she
be,
before she started working on
she
that?
was very quiet.
Hmm.
She was in school, taking school, but everything was just blah.
Hmm.
This is way life is. You deal with what the cards you're dealt
Hmm.
with. But the thing was, it's better than that. It's more than that. Everything for you is going to begin and end with you. If you want a better life, you can have a better life. And that's the first selling point. You
Hmm.
can do better. The next question would be, how do I do better?
Hmm. So, before
Well,
we go into how, tell me why she had such a low self esteem before she started working on it.
her parents died when she was
Mhm.
very small. Her
Okay.
family was broken and sent in different directions.
Mhm.
So it was sort of like her against the world. She had to make it for herself, coming into another environment, into another world, not knowing, without a support system. No thought of, well, this is what I'd like to be, or this is what I would like to do. It was a matter of what I had to do to
Mhm.
survive.
Mhm. So
And
that kind
so
of
in many of,
impacted.
yeah, many of our myself find ourselves in that survival moment. Whatever we're born with, we feel that's what it is.
Mhm.
So somehow or another, we met on the college campus, and the idea was that you're more than that. You have to. How do you feel about yourself?
Mhm.
Or you tell others about you. So that then how do I do that? She was a very open and honest person with
Uh-huh.
where she was in life, in
Yeah.
her thinking. She had not had the exposure, but
Uh-huh.
there was something within her, as in is in all of us, that
Uh-huh.
wanted to do. I want more, but
Yeah.
how do I get it? There has to be. I'd say it like that. There has to be more to life than this.
That's
That
right.
was that was my
Wonderful.
thing. So I kept looking for that,
Uh-huh.
and somehow you're pulled into various areas of where
Mhm.
you should be
Mhm.
if you're open and receptive.
Mhm. Well, we would love to learn some of the tips that you gave her that helped her, so we can also learn. So, what kind of things helped her?
The first thing I said to her was, you have to feel better about yourself. Let's get to know you. Let's get to see what, and as the next thing is, what do you want? What kind of person would you like to be? You have to first know, so when you find it, you'll know you got it. So that was what we did. Change your environment. Be around people who make you feel better about yourself, who encourage you to be better, who are doing some of the things that you would like to do, or some people that you would admire certain aspects in them. You could just pull that over into you. It's okay,
Mhm.
and that's the way we learn and that's the way we grow. Then
Mhm.
I also said, you got to have a change in the mindset. You got to
Mhm.
start, be careful, be mindful of what you focus on.
Mhm.
We spend more time focusing on the negatives of things of life than we do on the positive things in life. But those things that you keep telling yourself over and over, that's what comes to be for you. So
That.
you gotta know where you're trying to go, and you gotta think that way. And guess what? You gotta act that way. You can be. You just start acting. Is this is what I want to be? Who makes that decision for you? Act that way. You will influence your subconscious mind. That's where the work is. Your mind controls your body.
Mhm.
So when you convince yourself, I can do that, I can do that, and the more you tell yourself you can do that, it gets on your mind print. You see,
Mhm.
I usually tell my clients, fake it until you make it.
Hmm.
Fake it until you make it, and you'll get that joy in moving from one level of development to the other.
Yeah. I remember when we were talking a few weeks back, you were talking about seeing yourself on the television or TV as you want to be. So, can you tell us a little bit about that? How do you use that technique?
Yes, within us or within our toolkit is the power of imagination.
Uh-huh.
You can be whoever you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody can stop that. I used to, go in the room, close the blinds, turn the soft music on, and I could go anywhere I wanted to go. I could be with whomever I chose to be with, and nobody could do a thing about it. Heck, if I wanted wine in the glass, if I wanted water in the glass, whatever I wanted to do, I have that freedom. And the more I do that, that becomes a part of me, because the things you keep telling yourself over and over, you believe it.
That's right.
Even if that's lying, you believe the lie. You understand? So that's that, and the magic of believing is what makes it so. Because everything for you begins and ends with you. And when I say you, I mean with your thinking about you. You got to feel it. You got to really feel that I'm somebody, or I'd like to be somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and I know So just act that way
Yeah.
and it will become so.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen so many people put themselves down a lot. And
Yeah.
sometimes we talk to ourselves in a way that we would never talk to other people. So you were talking about the power of word or language. Tell us a little
Power.
bit more about
Words have power,
Yeah.
whether they're good words or whether they're negative words. Words have power, and then you can say them with that fervor or with that spirit. It has a way of picking you up. Say what you mean. Never put yourself down. Never talk down about you. And never allow anybody else to do that. Because remember, you tell people how to treat you by the way you treat you.
Hmm.
So then you get that outside help because they're living up to what you're displaying before them. You got the crowd who's trying to tell you or help you to be what it is you want to be. So you have to practice that until it becomes so.
That's so true.
Yeah, the
So,
magic of believing.
uh-huh. And so, sometimes life present to us things that we are not able to deal with, or let's say if there is a relative who keeps putting you down, or
Mhm.
your environment, your boss, or work co-workers, they put you down. How do you handle that?
Sometimes we have more problems with the people who are our relatives or our people who are around us. But you got to be strong. You got to know you have a voice. You are somebody. I have something to say. We live a big portion of our lives pleasing somebody else in the first place, your parents. My goal was to make my parents proud of me, be proud of the community and all that kind of thing. And I never stopped to think about, well, what do I want to be? But there was that something that I always said in the back of me, there's more to life than that. And guess what? If it's going to be, it's going to come through me. It was not going to fall out of the sky or come after I prayed a prayer. It was
Mhm.
going to come when I was open and when I began to listen and I began to try this or try that or focus on what it was I wanted to do, I wanted to be, that was when it becomes so. Because you somehow or another, things will just, those things or those helps or those little things you need, they just come.
Right. Yeah.
They're just there when you need them if you're open, to them.
Yeah. So that takes us to the second part I was going to talk about is what kind of struggles you faced in your life and how focusing on your self-esteem or doing the journey within you helped you. I know that you've been singer and teacher and minister and now this coach. So tell us some of the steps you had to go through and how did you conquer those stressors in your life?
Some of the same things that I talked about, we all go through some of the same things, just the very different degrees of, just like we all have basic needs, just different degrees of what they are. I
Right.
just happened to come up in a family that was a public family anyway.
Mhm.
We dealt with the public, so we learned to deal. But in doing that, I had to learn to fit. I do this is fine, and then I want to do this, and then this isn't quite. There was sort of like a void
Yeah. When
that
you say
had,
of public family, what do you mean?
I mean, we came up singing. I
All
came from
right.
a family of singers and teachers and speakers.
Uh-huh.
So that was our life. So
Uh-huh.
that was what the kids grew up doing. All of us could probably do that same thing.
Right.
But then as life grew stronger and I left that comfortable setting that I was born in, I found out there was a bigger degree to then just saying, oh, I'm going to do this and I do that, even though I do it well.
Mhm.
There is something within you. We have to we do live from within, without. There's always that inner guidance or that something in you that lets you know this isn't it. I don't know what it is, but that I know that's not it. So you move and you grow, and that's how you make it through the journey. That's what the journey is all about, trying to find out what's that real thing. How do I fit into the schematic design of life and living? What do I want to do? I want to be all I'm supposed to be. I want to get all I'm supposed to get out of it and give all I can give to it.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so important. So I'm going to ask the audience if they have any questions at this time. Please, Ed, while we talk about your program. You were telling me you have a program called Journey into You.
A
Tell us a little
journey
bit
into you.
about tell us a little bit about that program.
Okay. I feel that our biggest, but I want to say deficit about us as a people, or especially my people, is we don't really know. I'm going to let that be all the people. You don't really know who you are. So you don't know what to expect from you. You don't know what your rights are. I'm just born into this environment, so I just deal with this right here, which means I'm totally, is a whole world around me. And my thing was, it's more to life than this. So I go to school, I get a degree, I get a job. Well, what's next? What does that mean? My whole thing was I want to, I know what I want to tell you. I have a formula.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And I'll share it with you and your listeners. Awareness plus understanding plus application equals quality life and living. Awareness plus understanding plus application. I want to know what this is. This is new information, the awareness. I need to understand what that is and how that applies to me, where I am on my journey. And then once I get it, it's more than just say understanding it. I need to know, what does it mean? Everything has to have a meaning. Then when I get this and I get the meaning, then apply those rules and those things that I've learned to whatever situation I'm in at that time. That'll give me quality, whatever.
Wonderful. So awareness, understanding, what's the third one?
Application
Application. And
equals quality life and live. I believe in good life and good living. So what does that do for me? I have to know where my focus is. I have to believe first of all. That's for me. I have to know. But there is something about us on the inner you that lets you know when things are right for you and when they're wrong for you. Where we go wrong is we look over it. We don't stop to know enough about ourselves to know how to take care of that. But we have to take care of our bodies. That's why you have a mind.
that's right.
So you have to know you know that your body has a language. It speaks to you. It knows what it needs. It tells you. The question is, are you listening? Are you understanding?
Mm.
Or you just shut it out? Sometimes I think that's one of my faults. I don't like to deal with some things, so I just shut them out. I don't want to deal with them. But I have to know that the things I don't, they're still doing what they do, and they're doing what they want to do destructively or positively within you. So
Yeah,
we have to focus every day. What do you think during the day? What's your day like? That spare time when you just say, are you thinking good stuff? We talk more about the bad stuff than we do the good stuff. So that's what we receive. You're in charge of you.
that's so true. Yeah. And, even when I teach a lot of the similar things, I continue to learn because,
Yes,
it's a
yes,
journey, like you said, you keep on learning better and better
yes,
and take a step further and further. So tell us what happens in this program. You said that it's an 8 weeks program.
yes. It's a program about you. It's all about you, learning to respect, appreciate, and love you. It's all about you dealing with the intricacies of the aspects of life and living and how to deal with them so that it impacts or so that it pushes you a step further on the journey. It teaches you not to ignore. You are, and I love to say this, you are the most important person you're going to meet in this life. And those people who are out there that I don't see, I wish you would repeat that. I am the most important
I am the most important
person
person
I'm going to meet
I'm going to meet
in this life.
in this life.
And
I'm the most important person I'm going to meet in this life.
that's
That
right.
is profound.
Yes. And you ask me, well, why on earth did you say that? And you might say, oh, that's being selfish. Now, coming up, we were always taught to don't be stuck on yourself. Don't talk or pat yourself on the back so much. But we've come to learn that if you don't feel good about you, if you don't trust you, if you don't love you, then nobody else is. So it's up to you, because every decision you have to make comes through you, even though you're influenced sometimes by other things or other people. But in the final analysis, you are the one who says yay or nay. This is what I'm going to do. This is not what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I see so many people, because they are not able to say that for themselves, they are depending on other people's validation. So they're
Absolutely.
constantly looking for validation from others, and their self-esteem is based on what other people say about themselves.
Absolutely. That's our challenge. But and I always say to them, everything you need for you to be what you were designed to be, you've got it. It is within you. We learn about the outside of us, but we don't know about our hearts, our feelings and the power of our emotions on us, and how it affects our health and all of those things. And those are the things that we go through in this program, to teach you about you, why you do this, why you don't do what you ought to do, just who you are, not who on the outside. We can put on a front. I can be great, I can be whatever, and be dying inside. But I have control. I have been given control of me. I don't need you to verify me or
So
to approve of what I do. And those are the things we teach very excited about it.
Wonderful.
Because
Wonderful.
we learn too. We grow and we find out about other aspects of self,
Yeah.
as we teach you to do so.
Yeah. So let me share with the audience how they can get on this program. You can go to drjeancotton.com, and you'd be able to apply. And Dr. Cotton is sharing a gift of 30 minutes of free consultation. So you can go onto her page and apply, and you'd be able to talk to her for 30 minutes. So thank you for the gift, Dr. Cotton.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And then you'd be able to participate in her 8 weeks program. She also has a Facebook group, a lively Facebook group that you can join, and we'll share the link in the comment section so you can join her program. What is it called, Dr.?
A Journey Into You.
A Journey Into You. That's wonderful. There is a comment coming, and I think it's very powerful comment. In addition to people saying that I'm the most important person I'll meet in this life, Wanda, thank you, Wanda. She is saying that I've learned that I'm independent of others' approval for my self-esteem. That's so true. So thank you, Wanda, for sharing that. So before we go into the special of the day, I want to ask Dr. Cotton, do you have any last words of wisdom for us?
It all depends on you. If any changes are going to be made in your life, they're going to have to come through you, because blessings don't come to you. They come through you. And as they're coming through you, there's a process of growth and development. But you have unlimited potential within you, waiting on you to discover and develop it into its full potential. You decide who you are. You decide what you want to be. So be it.
Wonderful. It seems like another participant is sharing that she has learned from you that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks for sharing. So before we go into the special for the day, let me remind people that you can get the reminders for these programs and get all the free gifts and links by texting us joyful to the number 38470. So you can continue to learn more and more these tips for your mental fitness. And join us every Saturday at 11 o'clock when we bring these wonderful guests to our program. And so now, are you ready for the special?
Yes.
All right. So the special today is kind of building on what we were talking about, and it's for people who sometimes struggle with appreciating themselves, like you were saying that our society doesn't appreciate or puts a negative connotation for people appreciating themselves. And so I also struggle with that issue in my life. And I learned a really great technique for boosting self esteem, but it was hard for me.
Mhm.
And so I use this technique and it helped me and many of the people that I have taught. So I would like to share, if you try to apply it in your life, maybe it would also help you get this self esteem boost for yourself.
Mhm.
So the technique I call is grateful achievement, and it's part of the guided gratitude journal that I have. And so I'm going to read a little bit from that. So some people have trouble feeling confident in their vision when they are going through a difficult time. For instance, one person asked me, how can I be confident and affirm that I have the best job possible when I'm receiving only rejections? So Pat was trying to recover from her condition and made a vision board to help her visualize what she wanted in life. But it was hard for her to feel confident. So when you're facing so many problems, how can you feel confident and believe that you could achieve your dreams? So she was going through a rough time and feeling guilty and just focused on regrets in her life. She could not feel confident. So I advise her to do this grateful achievement exercise. It's kind of part of the vision board exercise, and I want
Mhm.
to say thank you to John Asaraf. He makes this achievement list in addition to his vision board.
Mhm.
And so I've kind of learned to modify it a little bit because I grew up in a society where appreciating your achievement or talking about your achievement was something negative. So gratitude is a high virtue. So I changed it into that achievement list into a grateful achievement.
Mhm.
And so what I do is I put on a page, I say, I'm grateful for my achievement that, I was able to pass the medical school or, got the degree but sometimes even smaller achievements play a big role. So one time I was doing this exercise with some primary students, and so a fourth year student was saying, "Oh, I haven't achieved anything in my life. What can I put?" And so I asked, do you know any math technique? So he said, "Yeah, I know multiplication and division, but everybody knows about it." And so there was a third grade student sitting next to him. And I said, okay, asked him, do you know this multiplication and division? And he said, no. So then I told the fourth grade student, see, there are other people in the world that may not know what you know, or they may not have achieved what you have achieved. So appreciating even simple things in life would allow you to kind of feel confident, and then you would be able to dream bigger and higher.
Gotcha.
And
Mhm.
so that's what I call grateful achievement. And so you guys can also do it. It may give you a big boost in your self-esteem. And if you want to read about the full technique or get the guided gratitude journal, you can get it from Amazon or from drrosina.com. So at this point in time, I want to say that and repeat, use these formulas that Dr. Cotton shared with us.
Mhm.
Tell yourself that you are the most important person you're going to meet in this life. And every small step that you take towards improving your self esteem and your mental resilience will bring you closer to your success in all
Mhm.
areas of your life. So take
Absolutely.
one step today. You can do it. Till next time,
Absolutely.
Dr. Rosina.